I think I always see myself in the future. I always see myself 20 years from now. And the guy, you know, making it easier for me today. That makes any sense. You know, making it easier for the guy, the upcoming guy that wants to be a producer and has all this vision. And like right now, it's not hard for me, but you know, I gotta fight my way to the top. I wanna make it. Treybeatzz is a 19-year-old producer in Nashville, Tennessee, from Racine, Wisconsin. And I started making beats when I was a freshman in high school. Yeah, my first beat was YOLO, and you know, I was kind of discouraged. It sucked. It was terrible. And I met this guy named Sean, the Black Son, Black City, and he was like, "Man, you making these soulful beats?" And I was like, "Nah, what are you talking about, man? What's soulful beats?" And so I really try to, you know, start getting into sampling and playing the keys and everything. And over the years, I just got better. You know, I started producing for this guy out of Miami. His name is Real Zay Live. This guy named Young Son from Overton. And eventually, you know, the Black Son was like, "Oh, you there now." So I started producing for him. Then I met Roselle around the same time, and you know, he kind of invested into me and recorded with me and everything, and you know, used my beats. And after that, when they started venturing out and doing other things, you know, I really was like, I wanted to start a label, Distinct Music Records. And that's when I met, you know, Camry, Brandon Mayo, DJ, and Wavy D, Rashad. You know, we were all friends, you know, everybody was doing their own thing, but everybody was making music individually, but we all just came about because, you know, we felt like we all had one vibe. And once we started making music together, it just clicked. And, you know, we've been like a half a year strong, and we're just growing and growing, and things are getting good. It's been interesting, you know, as an independent artist, period. The journey is just interesting, you know, being able to trust people. You know, you don't have a lot of money starting out, so, you know, it's all out of, you know, passion. You know, it's you are your own motivator, you know. DMR is just like I said, it's just, if you make different music, you are DMR. I don't put it like, you know, a selective few. Everybody's DMR. If you're making different music, you doing your own thing, you're DMR. And so everybody that I come across, you know, we end up clicking musically, you know, vibing, and so, you know, that's how the team just keeps on growing. That's who DMR is, you know, friends that just do different things together. I knew it was from me, because when I was in middle school, I used to use these pencils. I used to make beats on the table. People used to rap, like, and I always said I was a producer because I like Kanye West. I love Kanye West, man. And he just inspired me, what he did, and like the stuff, like certain chords he used with the samples. It just, you know, made a person feel a certain type of way. And so I always loved producing. And I never produced a day in my life when I was in 5th grade and said I'll produce. And so when I got my first laptop, I think, I was 15 or 14, and I just downloaded the FL Studio app on my computer, and I started making beats then. They weren't great, and I just liked it. You know, I liked it. It's always something I knew I wanted to do. I said I did, but I really didn't. So once I started it, I was like, oh yeah, this is for me. That's really hard. I have to say Street Sweeper. My friends at Karen's gonna get pissed because he hates that song, but Street Sweeper was the best song I think we've done. Not just musically, but like I said, the vibes were just, you know, were crazy. I found this song, it was a sample I saw, and I was playing, I was like, oh yeah, this can be something. This is a dude named Jimson, he's from the UK. That's how we found the song. And you know, I like this. I was like, I like this. And as a Camry was so happy to be riding the car, he's like, what is this? This is amazing. It's like, it's a song called Street Sweeper. And I was like, oh, he's like, oh man, you know, we need to work on this. Cause it was like one of his, this was like when he first started rapping. So he was looking for his breakout song. And so he's like, oh yeah, we need to use this. So we came in and broke down the beat. We argued about how the beat should sound. And then after that, my friend DJ went to play the keys at the end. And then Brandon came and sung the hook in the beginning. And Zakim he did his thing. And that song has been growing like crazy, almost like 100 views a week. It's crazy. So yeah, things been going good with that song.
My type of lady. Just come to me.
I feel like I stand out as a producer because I don't just solely do the beats, you know. I get into the song. You know, a lot of people make beats and call themselves producers. That's like wrong, you know. A producer gets into the artist when they're recording. You know, they change the vibe of the song, just not make the beat and then walk away. You know, I really get into the vibe of the song, and I would like to convey what I want to, you know, get out. You know, if that's through, hey man, you need to sing this note a little higher, or you need to rap this a certain way. You know, I really like to get involved in the artist. Progress, you know, it looks, for me personally, you know, it's not money, it's not like fame. It's just, you know, touching people, you know, touching people's lives through music, you know, really just growing the brand, you know, throughout the city, throughout the nations. Might not be the richest man in the world, but you know, if everybody knows what DMR stands for, you know, as a, you know, a group of people or just the brand, you know, that's what I want, you know, for people to see the light, basically. Live in LA was, it's a beat I made during the summertime. It just has a summertime vibe feel. I went to a concert with my mother and the family. It was at a jazz concert, and I just love the jazz stuff it did, you know, downtown and how it made you feel. So I was like, man, I wanted to sample some live stuff. And I was always into Erykah Badu and D'Angelo and the neo soul of the 90s, and so I was just looking for, you know, live concerts in LA. They did in the 90s, and so yeah, it came about. I got the drums from the guy that sings. Oh man, what's his name? Oh, dog, what's his name? Well, it's this dude that he plays the drum for this really old guy, and it's a very popular song. And so I sampled the drums in the beginning, and I put the sample on top of it, and that's how that came about. What motivates me is my peers, you know, seeing them go through stuff and them coming over here to record. You know, I look at it, this is a house for 8 people, you know. If somebody needs to come over and crash, you know, this is a spot for them, you know what I'm saying? You know, I feel like, you know, I'm not just doing this for me, I'm doing this for 8 other people's and their families and their children and their children's, you know. We can change a whole generation with what we're doing, and so that's what motivates me. I think the one thing that makes me, gives me the courage is I feel the people around me. I can't stress that enough. You know, accountability is the #1 thing. If you're just doing stuff by yourself and you just in your little box, you know, you're not gonna be accountable for too much. If you don't want to do something one day, you're like, man. But you know, if I wake up and the camera need a beat and I don't send that beat, he's like, man, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And so that gives me the courage to, you know, I need to get up and, you know, work. And what also gives me the courage is, you know, my mom, my family, God, you know, since I was a kid, you know, I've been wanting this dream. This is not something that I just, we can make money off of this for real. No, this is something since a kid I was doing. I was training for it, playing the drums. This is what I was, you know, made to do. That's how I look at it. I was made to do it. And so that's what gives me the courage.